Oh, forgot something. Sorry, my bad. Here comes another loud noise, maybe. Okay, we're good. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'll stand, we'll sing one song, and I'll introduce our speaker tonight. Far dearer than all that the world can impart was a message that came to my heart. How that Jesus alone for my sin did atone, and Calvary covers it all. Calvary covers it all. My past with its sin and stain, my guilt and despair, Jesus took on him there, and Calvary covers it all. The stripes that he bore, the stripes that he bore, and the thorns that he wore, told his mercy and love evermore. And my heart bowed in shame as I called on his name, and Calvary covers it all. Calvary covers it all. My past with its sin and stain, my guilt and despair, Jesus took on him there, and Calvary covers it all. Let's do one more verse. The matchless the grace. How matchless the grace when I looked on the face of this Jesus, my crucified Lord. My redemption complete, I then found at his feet, and Calvary covers it all. Calvary covers it all. My past with its sin and stain, my guilt and despair, Jesus took on him there, and Calvary covers it all. All right, you guys can have a seat. I'd like to welcome this evening, we've got Brad Haskell here from Helping Hands and Hooves Ministries. Did I say it right? I always get something wrong. Ministry or mission or challenge, or I always get something wrong. So
yeah, that was good.
All right. So everybody, let's welcome Brad Haskell this evening.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Brad. All
yes.
Right. Need me to take your picture up here? Or?
I got it.
Oh, you got it already? All right.
Got it.
All right. I was going to get it while you were going, but.
We got her.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for supper. It was great. This has just been an honor to be at the High Plains School of Missions, just to be able to be a part of this. I was asked to share our mission and to share what we're doing there at the ranch, and it has truly been a blessing. And so I'm looking forward to sharing with you. When we think about all the different missionaries, boy, it's just been a blessing. I'm the last one as we're finishing up this week for you guys. But all the different places, from Poland to Rwanda, all that Mr. Warren's doing with the medical missions, and so all over the world, okay, our mission. We used to think that was all missions was. I can remember growing up when we were thinking about, I had a good friend that was in the Philippines. But I'm here to tell you tonight that it's not only there, it's right here. Okay? It's right here in Altus. There are so many people that do not know Jesus. All right? And they don't understand why they even need him. Okay? They think life's just going just great. And so they're missing out on the greatest blessing they could ever have, that relationship with Jesus. When I think about Matthew chapter 28, 18 through 20, it says, "Then Jesus came to them and said, 'All authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to obey everything I've commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age. Out at the ranch, our mission is through our horses. As we have equine therapy and are led by people that come to the ranch that are hurting, okay, that are having struggles in their lives. When we think about the horse and think about humans, I want to read a little statement. It says, social intelligence is our ability to understand others people's emotions and behaviors which steer our interactions. If someone came up to you and they were smiling and they reached out their hand, all right, that body language, okay, and they're wanting to visit with you, but maybe they're not. They're frustrated, or their appearance on their face may be different, and so you see their interaction is different. And that is the way it is with the horse, the nonverbal, okay? The nonverbal of the horse helps with this therapy because, and how that works is like, just for instance, giving a child a hug. A Dewey will wrap his head around the child, okay? That nonverbal that the horse gives, all right? Whether it's just being able to pet the horse, whether it's just being around the horse. Tonight I want to share several stories with you. I have a young lady that comes to the ranch, and her name is Addison. And I can tell you, body language for the first day when she came out there was just like this. She didn't know about this horse thing. And she just was really uptight. And one thing about Miss Addison also is that she has autism. And so just the struggles in her life. And so we began to break those barriers down with the horse. And I can remember the next time she came out and was rubbing the horse and just petting and brushing the horse. And so as time has gone on, even with Mr. Dewey, I don't know if he's yawning or what he does, or he's smiling, but he shows his teeth. And Miss Addison, with her laughter, all right, it just comes out of her, and that spirit, that release of energy that is just so positive. One of the things about Miss Addison is that she didn't talk a lot. She doesn't talk much. But Mom has told us she talks to you more in an hour with you and the horse than she talks to us all week. And so that has been such a blessing to see her as we talk. One of the things that I asked Miss Addison, I said, who's in charge of the horse? And she says, I am. And I say, who's I am? And she says, Addison, because it's important to know their name, that relationship, okay? And so Miss Addison has just continued to grow and grow. Here, just right before the School of Missions started, about 3 weeks ago, it was on a Wednesday. We came out, she was coming out to the ranch, and we were riding, and it was pretty much a normal day, except Mr. Dewey wasn't really doing what he was supposed to be doing. He wasn't bucking or anything like that, but he just wasn't really following commands. And I was even a little frustrated till all of a sudden I felt the Spirit tell me, go with this, Brad. And so after a little bit longer, I said to Miss Addison, stop the horse. And she said, whoa, that's on command, all right, to say that. So I want the kids that's part of it, all of this process. And so she stopped the horse, and I said to Miss Addison, I said, it's been a little challenging today, hasn't it? Dewey hasn't been really following things. And she said, yes, Dewey hasn't been listening. And then I had a real teaching moment, was this. And I said, Miss Addison, have you ever been to the point where you didn't want to listen and follow through in instructions that you've been asked to do? And so we got to visit. One of the things, that the insight that I had on this is that She wants to be in charge when she's at home. She wants to be able to do what she wants to do, and everybody's supposed to cater to what she, but now this has given her an outlet, okay? This has given her something that she's in charge of. She's in charge of riding Dewey, of being responsible for saddling Dewey and feeding Dewey. And so all of this process, and I tell you this story because that is why we're operating, so that people can be changed, so that people's lives can be healed. And so that's what the ranch is all about. All right, let's see if we can get this clicker to work. Helping Hands and Hooves Ranch, where it's that little figure in the middle there. Okay, wherever you see that, that's our trademark with the hand and the hoof. All right, it's by design that we did this, okay? We are the hands and feet of Jesus, right? And so it's my hands and the horse's feet. And so that's what we're about at the ranch, encouraging people. Who we are. We are an equine assisted facility located just south of Arapahoe, Oklahoma. The ranch strives to provide support, stability to individuals and families who may be struggling through depression, anxiety, PTSD, loneliness. At the ranch, we provide services that may help with emotional, behavioral, personal, spiritual battles. It is very important to us that the ranch is a safe place for growth, healing, and support. We believe the unique energy of the horse can help individuals on their healing journey. All right, I mentioned Miss Addison, but there's lots of different things. How many of you have ever had a hurting situation? Every hand should probably be in here, be up, because we all have. All right, and so the horses provide that unique energy to help us when we're hurting. One of the things at the ranch, people ask me, well, what's the program all about? How do we do it? Well, I usually have the parents come out, and it's called a meet and greet. All right, they get to meet me, and they get to greet the horses, and we get to talk about what it is that some of their expectations, and then what I can offer them. And so that time that we can come out and just be able to get to know each other, all right? And that's what our first time is when we come to the ranch. So one of the things that with this growth process, we might have one child that's here that may be in their growth process, and we might have another one here. We do everything on an individual basis, okay? Everything we do at the ranch is confidential, all right? And so that's the only way it works. You know, if someone else wants to share their personal things, I've been given approval to share Addison's story. But there's so many at the ranch we could talk about tonight of how their lives have been changed through the horses. So just having that place of growth, and so just seeing the growth in the lives of those children, all right, has been remarkable. And seeing also the healing. Who is the greatest healer? Jesus, right? That is. All right, our foundation. Now the mission and vision, they're going to mix together here a little bit. You're going to see some things that are in both of them. Our mission is to provide support and stability to children and adults who may be facing various battles in their lives. We aim to provide support through therapy and services that encourage emotional, behavioral, personal, spiritual growth. We offer a safe space for growth, healing, and support. There is one very important thing that's said right there, is a safe place. Okay? A safe place. All right, when we are messing with the horse, when we're dealing with the horse, safety is number one as far as everybody coming and leaving the ranch. So I teach them how to be safe around the horse, okay? Even though my horses, I know them very well, it's still important that they, even 5 years from now or a few months, they might be around another horse and they need to know how to handle that horsemanship, having those basic skills. A lot of the kids that come out there, they've never been around a horse. They've never had this opportunity, okay? And so it's just, it's remarkable to see but safe space for them, all right? And then the healing that takes place, and then also a support group. Here tonight, okay, all of you know each other, I'm assuming. Most of all of you know each other. And so if something happens, as most churches, they have a prayer chain or something, and that's support. And so we offer support out at the ranch, okay? I don't know if you've noticed, but that is a very big thing. I don't know if you've had that here at your church, but having that support group, having that person, those people that can encourage you. The second thing is vision. We provide horse and small animal assisted activities. We are committed to supporting individuals with special accommodations to the ranch environment. Those who find our services most beneficial are veterans who battle PTSD, depression, and anxiety, and children with physical and behavioral and emotional needs. Our primary purpose is providing for all of our clients the space and the tools to grow spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. It is our hope that those we serve will learn to bond with others, overcome their fears, and improve their quality of life. One of the things that one of the groups of people that we minister to, and it's not just, these are targeted areas that we at the ranch. We've had some kids that's come out that's lost a parent, okay? All the different, we've had some kids that have going through family divorce. We had come out this summer. And so all these things that are happening, all right, in the lives of our kids. Also, up there I want to mention is our veterans. And I want to ask a question. Do we have any veterans here tonight? Okay. Thank you for your service. We wouldn't be here tonight, and I mean this, we wouldn't be here talking if it wasn't for our veterans. Our program started many years ago, and it started just with our veterans. And I had 3 veterans that were on the board, and most of all, they loved Jesus. And 2 of them have passed away, and the other one's in a VA hospital in Claremore, Oklahoma. And so I've got new board members. Some of you might know him, Keith Knight. He's our chairman of the board at the ranch. And then I have 2 other board members and that help us as well. And so all these wheels that are turning, okay, all these things that are turning in our ministry. Becky is also one of our board members, which is the mother of Addison. She does our Facebook, and she does all the things and the postings of that. And so just getting people involved, getting people to latch on and to be a part of our ministry there. Now these 3 things right here at the bottom, learn to bond. Okay, that's what we're doing with the horse. Okay, we're learning to bond. All right, we might be brushing the horse. I always encourage them to put one hand on the horse because the horse can feel. All right, they can sense whether you're excited, whether you're sad, whether you're uptight, all the different emotions. They can feel that, all right? They can feel a fly when it hits their back. And so all these things and this bonding that goes on. So Miss Addison, from the first day that she was here till she's been coming out for over 6 months now, coming out to the ranch. And so all this bonding that's taking place with the horse and them. And so very, very important. Overcoming fears. Is anyone fearful in here? Do you have a fear of anything? Rattlesnakes? All right. I don't know what your fear may be. Maybe just waking up knowing about the election coming up. I don't know what fear that might come into your life, but we realize that Jesus can help us through our fears. One of the things that at the ranch is they can be intimidated by the horse. Even though my horses are not very tall, they're only 2 hands tall, Mr. Dewey, and so I can actually look over him and see, and I'm easily to handle it. It's easy for the children. That is one unique thing about our ranch. A lot of these places that do therapy, they have older horses, real old horses. Well, I have younger horses. They're 7 and 8 years old, the ones we use, and So they're growing up with me. If I'm going to do this for another 20 years, they'll still be around but just having that time. And so when you think about the size of the horse, even though a child may be this tall, you still that horse can be intimidating. I had a new child this last week that came out. Man, they were excited. And we got on the horse, and all of a sudden, she froze. She said, "I'm scared." And Mom said, "Just take it easy." I was encouraging her. And after about 15, 20 minutes, she was good. Overcoming her fear through riding the horse and just getting to know Mr. Dewey. And so that's a very important part of our ministry there at the ranch. And then ultimately what happens? This is just, their quality of life changes. It's a lot easier to handle things just when you're able to overcome these fears, these anxieties, whatever, depression. Our veterans, I'll go back to them. It's amazing to see their lives at the ranch. We just had some out here just the other day, and I sit on this little bench there in the barn, and I just listen to their stories. Okay, listen to what they have to say. We've had some horse trainers out to the ranch. We've had some people that have owned horses that have been out to the ranch that are veterans. But just hearing their life story, I've sat there and said 10 words, literally 10 words, and they've said 1,000. Just being able to share about their lives with the horse and how, or maybe some experience that they had while they were in the military, serving their country. And just having the horse there opens up a whole new perspective, and just being able to open up their lives. And so their quality of life totally changes. My wife is actually the activities director at the VA there in Clinton, and she's been a real encouragement, and I love our veterans. All right. When I think of another verse, I think of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 24. And it says, "Let us consider how we might spur one another on towards love and good deeds." I could have thrown up a picture up there about spurring one another on. You know what spurs are? When you got them on, it helps what? Move the horse. All right? But my next question is, do you ever need to be spurred on? Do you ever need to be encouraged? All right? And so I think that verse helps us to keep in perspective what we're supposed to be all about in loving and caring for people. The last one is values. And when I think about the first one, there's a reason that's number one. It's compassion. I don't know about you, but there's not a lot of that running around anymore, is there? All this compassion that we should have for each other, this love that we should have for each other. And so I think showing compassion for those we come out to the ranch that we are able to serve, knowing that they're loved, that they have a place to just be able to allow their barriers, whatever that they're dealing with, can be let down, and that we can show them compassion as they're healing. When I think about compassion, I think about the woman at the well. They're ready to stone her. They're ready to get her out down the road. And what did Jesus do? He showed compassion for her. And so I think that's a big part at the ranch, showing compassion for those who come out. Respect. All right. I respect them. They respect me. We respect the horse. Okay. Well, what we're doing, however we're doing it, we have a respect. If I tell them something, then this is what I'm expecting. And so that is one of the crucial things at the ranch. Trust. All right. Building trust. That is you. And I should have confidence right up there with it, because trust and confidence, when you see the children, when I first started leading them, to the point now they're doing it all by themselves. Even pulling up the cinch of the horse, and all these things that we help them to learn about horsemanship at the ranch. And so just helping them to build trust, not only with me, but with the horse. Okay, it's a process. Integrity. When I think about that, I think of my father when he says, say what you mean and mean what you say. All right, following through and having integrity in your program. And then the last thing I shared with my wife when we were making all this up, that if we can't do it at the best we can, okay, then we're not going to do it. All right, having excellence in whatever you do is very important. All right, let's see what the next one is here. All right, I'm not going to read all that up there, but I'm going to share. I grew up in Dodge City, Kansas. And that's where I had all my training as far as dealing with the horses. I've also went to Bible College at Ozark Christian College in Joplin, Missouri, and got my bachelor's degree. And so I was in full-time ministry for several years. My wife was in full-time ministry. She graduated from Dallas Christian College. And so that's what actually brought us to Clinton. And so, but I'll just tell you, I'm not a very good politician, okay? I guess that's why I'm the executive director and the founder of the ranch. And so if there's something that's not supposed to be going like it is, then I can change that. I don't have to worry about going through a whole lot of channels except through the board as we minister to people. And so one of the things there that's very, very important, and I believe this with all my heart, it says, it's not about me or about the horses. It's about Jesus and what he can do in your life and the purpose he has for you. All right? Maybe one of you in this room has a struggle. All right? And these struggles through life, and that only person that really can heal your life is Jesus. And why I say that is because the horse and Brad, we're just tools, okay? We're just tools. I picked my horses for a reason, but they're not the priority. I'm not the priority. The horse isn't the priority. It's the people that come out to the ranch. That's the why, that we might be able to lift them up and that they might be able to have a better quality of life. One of the things here that we've mentioned on all these things is spirituality. Okay? I actually had a phone call here the other day, and they said, well, how much of that spiritual stuff do you do out there at the ranch? Okay? And they didn't know about Jesus. All right? And I said, well, we're not Christians. And I just began to share with them what we're about. And they're coming to the ranch. Okay? They're coming to the ranch. And they're allowing things to take place in their lives. And we're planting seeds. We're not shoving ministry down their throat. We're not shoving Jesus, but I hope they catch it out there, right? That they see it. And not only see it, but they feel it. And so that is part of what we're doing, and at the ranch that's a big part. We're about relationship building. Relationship building. This is my family. I love them very much. This is Larissa on this end. She's actually a band director in Enid, Oklahoma. My daughter Hannah. She's always worried about her kiddos, so what she got her head turned there. That's Hannah. And Lauren, she is 2 years old, and she always says, how's Dewey doing? How's Dewey doing? And so it's just a great conversation, and they're actually going to be up to see us this weekend. My son-in-law, Nick, that's Amelia on the horse, and she doesn't look like she's having fun, does she? Yeah. And then that's my wife, Tamara. They're holding, you get to see Mr. Dewey. You can see how small he is. I've got my hand over him. That's me that was actually our ribbon cut, and we've only been open for a year, a little over a year. October 7th, we did our soft open last year. And I broke my leg in 9 places, not on a horse, doing something else, and working for another place. And praise God, I can still walk. It was a life-changing thing, and I've had to deal with those things that we've been talking about tonight, anxiety and all those things that have also affected my life, that I might be able to encourage others, because I've actually went through those things myself. And then my son Aaron and his girlfriend. All right, these are some of our small animals that we have. We have chickens out at the ranch, and boy, that makes things pretty interesting for some of the kids. There's some of them that have attention span just like that, boy. It's just whoo, whoo, whoo. And so just being able to draw them in and say, okay, here we're going to focus on these this certain thing. And just being able to focus on the horse. I've got several kids that have struggled with that. These are 2 new additions today, this year. We got them right before our ribbon cutting, and that's Ricky and Lucy the goats. Ricky and Lucy. And so they are a complete joy. When we let them out in their pen, they're just like a couple of reindeer. They're just bouncing around, and the joy that they bring our kids to as well. It's just been a blessing. That's my paint horse, Ozark, in the middle, and Alpha here pictured. And at the end, we've had several volunteers out at the ranch. All right, volunteers, people that come out. I have one couple that have helped us a lot, and man, I trust them. They come out to take care of the horses, and I know it's going to happen just like this. And that is such a blessing to have them as volunteers, to be able to come and to share. What else? We have volunteers who come out and muck the stalls, lead the kids around on the horses. So it's very important that we have volunteers. Even our veterans, I have 2. Their names are Ace and Cecil, that come out. One time here just a while back, I couldn't find them. I looked around, and they were at the back of the barn. One had a pitchfork, and the other one had a broom in their hands. And so all the things that they said, they just love coming out to be able to, and they just, whatever we can do. Even Ace, when he left, he said, when are we going to get the mower started up? And so they're funny. All right, we have gatherings at the ranch, youth groups that's come out. We've had birthday parties at the ranch, just anything that we can get people to see what we're doing, why we're doing it. So we have them. And then one of the things, and I tell you, this is a very important part, donations, okay? Helping us, what I would say, pull the wagon, okay? Pull the wagon. Just to be able to have that monthly support that we're trying to build, to have people come and just know what we're doing. And because at the ranch, there are a lot of kids that can't, I charge $25 an hour, which isn't very much anyway, but there are a lot of parents that can't even afford that. Or a pair of cowboy boots. I've got 2 young people that don't have cowboy boots. And just, if that's something that's on your heart, you say, hey, this is something that we can help you with. I would encourage you, if God's speaking to you, that you can join our team, help us pull the wagon, be a partner. That is my 20-year-old horse there, Buddy, and he is a character. My grandkids and my daughter right there as well. All right, I don't tell this story a lot, but this is important. Someone was at supper tonight, was if I rescued horses. Nope, I don't usually rescue horses. I'm in the people rescuing business, all right? I'm not in a horse rescuing business. But this little horse and his mom was just about 1.25 miles from me, and they weren't feeding him. He was fighting for his eats, and you should have seen how skinny he was when I first got him. But now, Blaze is just right there in my hip pocket. Everywhere I go, I'm out there, and he's right here in my hip pocket, or he's right here on my shoulder. And I think if he could talk today, he'd say, hey, I made it to heaven. Now I don't have to fight anybody. I have my own stall. I have my own grain and my own feed. And so he's been a blessing, and he just turned 2 years old. That is our contact information. If you want that, find where we're at. I'm going to close with this. You didn't know it tonight, but you've been all on this boat with me. Okay? And we've been sailing. We've been talking about what we've been doing on this journey. Okay? And you also have a journey in life. And it's usually not like this, right? It's usually, woo, all right? Right? It's up and down. Well, I can think of several instances throughout the Bible when we talk about boats. And I think about Peter. Even in his statement, he said, I will not forsake you. I will not deny you. And what happened? He denied him 3 times. And then Peter was on a boat one time, and Jesus said, you need to get out of the boat. Get out of the boat and come to me. And so Peter got out of the boat, and he started walking towards Jesus on the water. Remember that story? But how it happened? He started to sink, didn't he? Because he got his eyes off Jesus. This evening I want to say, maybe you just need to get out of the boat. All right? That's the first step. I want to do something. I want to do something. Maybe it's someone here in town that you need to go talk to. Maybe it's being a part of one of the ministries that you've heard this week. But the first step and the hardest one is just getting out of the boat. And someone here a few months ago, when I was telling them about this is my illustration, and they said to me, well, Brad, you've definitely got out of the boat. You've definitely got out of the boat. I want to close with this. This is kind of a neat thing at the ranch, just to show that we have a lot of support. They started, the guys that bring us our hay, started to bring us a bale one night, and he got out of the truck and he said to us, well, we want to just help you in your ministry, and we just want to start bringing the hay to the ranch, the alfalfa hay, to you for free. And Shane and his dad David, and they believe in what we're doing, all right? And I say all that to say that we just need other people to join on what to believe in what we're doing about encouraging and helping people, that their lives might be changed, and we're planting the seeds and seeing how Jesus can grow those seeds. Will you pray with me? Heavenly Father, I just pray for this congregation, for all that they're doing here, Father. We realize that Satan doesn't want things to work. He doesn't want things to succeed, because he's always prowling around like a roaring lion trying to devour any good and positive thing. But I just pray that you'll put a hedge around this church, that they will go strong, that they will be committed to service and to loving you. And Father, I just pray that we would just continue to be faithful and know that you are in charge. You are still on the throne, no matter what may be going on in our world, or you are still there. And Father, how we look forward to seeing you someday and going to heaven and being a faithful servant of yours. Thank you for this time tonight. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Now I want to open it up for questions. That's very important. I only went about 35 minutes exactly. That's about what I've been doing. And so I just want to share, if you got something to share, that you have a question.
We have a handheld mic here if anybody have questions. I was just going to ask.
Yes, sir.
What is one of the biggest difficulties you face? I know the people that are coming out are facing a lot of difficult issues and a lot of difficult things. Is there any, standard hurdle that they have to get over as they are learning how to interact with the horses, and as they're doing that? What are some of the difficulties that they face as, like, in relationship with the horse, and how does the horse, and as that relationship with the horse grows, how does that change and grow?
Well, it's just a process. I said a little bit, it's not the same for any two children. And so it's a process in which they grow, and if they're not open up to even, I had one child that didn't even want to get close to the horse the first time. And so it's just a process of just encouraging them. And I didn't say this, but this is something that's very important, is that I'll tell you, the people that get the most at the ranch are those where mom and dad, and I try to encourage this, where mom and dad are dialed in. They are dialed in to what we're doing there, and they are focused on what we're doing, and those kids do the best. And so that has been the greatest blessing. That's part of what your answer wants to there. I think, did I get the part of that? Yeah. So that is a big encouragement. I try to make sure that they say, hey, stay tuned in with what we're doing, because with this process, we move at inches at a time. All right. Someone might come out and say, well, I don't even see what are you doing out there? All right. They don't understand it. But as you've been witnessing, as you see the process, so we've moved this far this week and this far, and then all of a sudden we've moved this far in 6 months, okay, of that person or that individual being confident and handling the horse and just responding to the horse and talking to the horse. And so that's, Miss Addison just loves talking to Dewey. She can be out there having a conversation with him. And so that's a blessing.
Lee?
I was just going to share with the congregation. You mentioned that Keith Knight was the chairman of your board. Keith's an Alpha boy, born and raised here. I started chasing girls, started chasing fish, started chasing deer together. Left here about 39 years ago, go off to college, and in Elk City now. Just how a small world it is.
Absolutely.
You come in here, he's an Alpha boy.
Yes, he's a blessing. That's a big thing. I don't want just anybody, all right, at the ranch. I want people that love what we're doing, all right, that are just, they are sold out for the cause. And so, and that definitely is Keith. And so.
So how do you, the people come to you? Are they recommended like from a doctor or from the teachers?
That's a good question.
Do they just walk in the door?
All right. Well, I've had ads in the paper and we've done this and that, and I tell you what, the biggest thing is word of mouth. And that's one of the things that I wanted to close with too, or not share with you. It's praying, it's financial, but the third thing is sharing it, okay? Sharing it with somebody else, all right? Those who have been at the ranch, they shared it with somebody else. Becky does a great job of this Facebook, just dialing it into people and just, and so that's how it's been, word of mouth. And the paper hasn't really been good. We've had a couple articles written about us, which have been good, but mainly it's been word of mouth. Someone has told, I went and even talked to different therapists, and, just God is bringing people to the ranch. And so that is how it works. Just
Are they there for just the day?
No, they're usually just there for an hour.
It's for an hour.
Yes. And most of our kids just come once a week. That's what we do. So they just come once a week. We have about 13 kids that are on a regular schedule to come out to the ranch. I've been trying to get to them, make sure I'm there on Fridays and Saturdays. I've been going and traveling, telling people about the ranch. But we have 13 people that are coming pretty regular. I also give horseback riding lessons. And so, and those are more sporadic. But the people that are coming out and their lives with the therapy and everything, they don't miss appointment. They're dialed into what we're doing there.
What does a typical hour look like?
Typical hour looks like get Mr. Dewey out of the pen, put his halter and lead rope on him. We go out there and we begin to brush him, all right? And so we get him all shined up, make sure he looks good. Just that personal, that's the bonding time, all right? And then we start going and we'll saddle the horse. We'll put the blankets on him, and then we'll put the saddle on him. And just, Miss Addison, I said, this last time I said, well, now what are we going to do? We're going to tighten up the cinch, right? And so we got to tighten up the cinch. If we don't have the cinch tight, saddle will fall off. And she says that. And so this process in which the kids go, and I have them tell me what we're doing, and then we go out to ride them. Usually we walk the horse around, and that's a big bonding thing right there. Walking the horse around, just having the child be up close to his head. Dewey does a great job. He'll hold his head down. You can look on Facebook and see all of our pictures on there where he just holds his head down. He knows it's time to work. And so 99% of the time he knows what he's supposed to be doing as well. And then the kids would get on the horse and go from there. Just learning to rein them. Nope, insurance is not paying for any of this. No. Like I said, there's kids that we need sponsors for right now. That'll just help us financially. That's the biggest hurdle at the ranch. I'll just be honest with you. That's the biggest thing right now. Just having those people that'll support the ranch, that believe in what we're doing. And so that's why I would encourage you. We're just down the road from you. Come out and see the horses. That's why when I have the kids come out and their parents, it's so much different. Seeing, smelling the whole atmosphere at the ranch versus just telling them or sharing it even like tonight. And so, yeah, don't be a stranger. If you're by my neck of the woods, give us a call. I got cards and stuff out there.
You mentioned the spiritual aspect of what you're doing, and the non-Christian person or family that wanted to come out. How does the gospel factor in to this? How does that?
Well,
I don't know if it's worked into the curriculum or not at all, or if it's just as you go and you talk to them,
It's pretty much as we go. If they have questions about that, and like I said, I'm not ashamed. I have stuff around the horse barn and scripture around the horse barn, and the phrase that is often taught is often said is more is caught than taught. And they see that spirit, and I hope they feel that spirit at the ranch, and that we have that love and compassion for them. So, and then that they have questions. I just allow that's why it's a place that people don't have to worry about. Coming into a church building. It's not. Even though Jesus is, I'm sold out for Jesus, okay? I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't. I am sold out for what we're doing, and He is the cornerstone of my life. And so, but we got to have compassion for those out there that don't know Jesus, just because you might be critical of them or whatever the situation that. And so it's a process, and that's called trust too. As a pastor, that. As people, that, just building trust with people, and then they begin to ask questions. Well, what makes this happen for you? What makes your life different than all the other people in the world or people in our town or whatever? So hopefully they're asked those questions, and we just plant those seeds. That's what we all should be doing, planting those seeds, allowing it to be watered.
How long have you been doing this at the ranch, I guess?
Okay, we had our soft open October 7th of last year.
Okay, so just over a year.
Just a little over a year. We're just brand new. And so this is why it's been a blessing just to be able to come and share. So, yeah.
All right, last chance. Any more questions? I guess. Oh, Lee's got one more.
So how many horses do you have?
Okay, we have 5 horses, 3 of them that I use a lot. This colt Blaze, he's just 2 years old, and then Buddy, he don't get used much either. He's just hanging out. I didn't tell this story, but He loves women, and he loves my wife. I can go out to the pasture and be 2 or 3 feet from him and trying to catch him, and he'll walk away from me. But anytime she goes out there, oh yeah, I'm ready to go. And so that's kind of unique. But yeah, I have only 5 horses. I've had, and that's all the stalls I have. There are 5, so I think I'm good right there. It's a pretty expensive thing what we do. Feeding, insurance, all the just all the things that take place in the budget to running the ranch, and so that's.
How do you? I guess you said you have 5 horses that
Yes.
you use
Mm-hmm.
for this. How do you pair the horse with the
Well,
child or the person? How do you pair a horse with a person? Do you do it based on size or based on temperament or personality or?
Everybody starts out with Dewey because he's got 3 speeds: slow, slower, and slowest. Okay, and so he's just that's the horse. I'm so blessed to have him. One day I'll tell a short story. One day we were going to go somewhere and he didn't get in. And I can just hear Dewey saying, "Hey, I'm busy at the ranch. Too much. Get one of the other horses to go with you today." And I actually took another horse with me that day, but he's busy at the ranch. He's very valuable, and so that's the one that we start everybody out. We, and so then the others, Ozark has faster and fastest his speeds, and then Alpha's kind of in the middle. And so, but just being around them, but the other 2 have to have more experience to be riding those 2 horses. So, but Mr. Dewey, he's good. Yeah.
Do you have instructors or therapists, or is it all on you? Like, are you the guy?
Well, I'm working on that. I also have I have a certification through the Spur model through Johnny Clark. I got certified in that, and so with my ministry experiences and counseling and all the things that in the ministry, that I have those experiences and my degree there. And so, but I am going to be working on that, and as we grow, we're going to have people that have more therapy. I've been trying to get a couple therapists that come out and bring their kids, and so it's just a process that they see the need and the parents see the need, and so that's where we're at.
All right. Well, if you think of any more questions for Brad, I'm sure he'll be back at the table for a little bit here. Do you have stuff back at the table that we could take home or we could look at? Or
Yes, I have a pamphlet back there. I have my cards. If there are questions that you want to ask me later, and when you leave here and you want to get in contact with me, the phone number on there rings right to me, and so we can help you with all that. But yeah, you can go back there and look at a couple of the horses, and I'll be back there to answer any other questions you might have.
all right.
You've been a blessing. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't forget, yes. Okay. All right, don't forget we are taking up an offering. We got the box in the back if you could drop something off in there, or if you want to do Easy Tithe, if that's easier for you. We put all the money that we've collected throughout the week for school of missions, and we send the school of missions one check, and they divide it up amongst the missionaries and the missions this year. So don't forget to support all these people that we've had come out this week and what they're doing for the spread of the gospel. And go check out Brad's table and see what he's got. Take something home to remind you to be praying for Helping Hands and Hooves Ministries. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. All right. God bless. Have a good night.